Nice feed by Hunter! And Baisley with the rip. Dean Larry, you got to load that one up. Hey.
Oh, got a little wink action there.
Hey. And shot. Good! The Warriors in the state final!
Welcome to Western Brown High School, back for another presentation of high school hoops. I'm David Olson, joined by my partner Frankie Edwards. Frankie, we have a great matchup today as the Blue Devils from Reading High School face off against the Indians from Cincinnati Country Day.
Yeah, with this matchup, both these teams met the first game of the season with Reading winning by, I believe, 5 points. So they both are familiar with each other. I know Reading had a couple players injured at the time, so I'm interested to see how they come out. All about this early game is how the tempo. You got to come out ready to play, or you're going to go out cold and be out. It's only one and done in the tournament in the state of Ohio.
Absolutely, Frankie. So, Frankie, in front of us, who are some of the key players for Reading that we want to look at tonight?
Right now, you want to go with A.J. Brown. You want to see what Brandon Ross is really this core. I've talked to the coach. I graduated Reading. This is a really good senior core, and their chemistry, they work well, and they play hard. They've had a great year, came in second in the CHL. Obviously, Wyoming won the league, so they're wanting to make a deep run. They got a number 3 seed, which it was ahead of the defending state champion Deer Park Wildcats, so they've had a great year.
Absolutely. Like you said, that CHL league is very tough, Wyoming, with a lot of those football players coming off a state title, so they're fresh and ready to be athletes. Now let's go over to the 12 seed Indians, who are coming off a 67-44 victory over C&E on Saturday, and who now have a record of 10-13.
Right, and hey, it's survive and advance. I mean, you throw out all the records, it's whoever wins that given night. Some states have different setups, where you can lose in the districts and still come back if you make it that far. So they know that they can beat Reading because they've only lost to them by 5. So we'll see how this tempo, it's so key, the beginning of this start, to get a good start for either team.
Absolutely, and as we're getting ready here for tip-off, there's one person from Cincinnati Country Day we want to look at, and that's Matthew Atkins, who had 28 points, 12 rebounds, and 7 assists in the last game. So he's going to be a key factor for the Indians of Cincinnati Country Day. As the ball goes out of bounds, and Cincinnati Country Day will take over.
See how they start out here in defense. It looks like Reading's going to be a man-to-man defense. See how quiet it's when you have these 6 o'clock games. That's usually the reserve time. And so this varsity team, they have to bring their tempo up. And you have to really play hard right away. That's what I was talking to the coach Sidham about, that you have to make sure they come out playing hard. We'll see how this starts. You can see it's already kind of stagnant right now.
As we've got a clock issue. But as you mentioned, Frankie, this is an early game, and both these schools probably had an hour and a half bus ride out here to Western Brown High School, so those legs could be tired. So we'll see what both teams do as you said, Reading starts in a man-to-man defense.
Yep, keep your eye on, like I said, number 1 and number 2. Ross is a great 3-point shooter.
And there's number 1, A.J. Brown, who has 1.3 blocks a game in the CHL. Short jumper, no good. Brown with the rebound. Reading wants to run the tempo right now. Great ball movement so far. Cincinnati Country Day in a extended 2-3. Looks maybe a box and 1.
Yeah, it looks like right now it is. It's kind of extended. See what Reading does. They're trying to familiarize what this defense is. Oh, there's a turnover, a bad pass there, and there's going to be a foul.
A quick foul.
So that's a good idea by CCD. You want to throw something at the team that's not what they're not prepared for, because Reading hasn't played in a while. It's been a few weeks, and there's going to be teams. Hopefully, this is not a serious injury, just a little stuck. Looks like he tripped over.
And here's a replay of the fast break. Number 3, Gabe Van Shake with the foul for the Blue Devils.
Wow, he did hit his head. Hopefully, he's not too bad. I seen his head there. But it looked like you said, Reading's looking to push the tempo, and that's just the way to get the game going.
Absolutely, and that's the way you're going to want to start in these early games. The 6 o'clock tip-off, you need to come out, and you need to come out guns blazing. As Cincinnati Day will take over. 7:09 remaining here in the first half. Numbers.
There's a nice lob inside there.
Mason Mack.
Just too easy. That's something I know Coach Sidham's not going to like, because that was a little too easy inside. So the CCD is going to start scoring for us tonight. doubleheader with some ICRC action.
Absolutely,
you don't usually get to see that. And there's another turnover.
Fast break as number 10, Dylan Hacker, no good. Mason Mack last touched it. Here's a replay of that last basket, Frankie.
You can see just inside, just bodied him in, nice position, and then he had a quick turnover. I'll be surprised if we need a quick timeout here by Coach Sidham because there's been a couple turnovers, and they need to talk about what kind of defense CCD's in.
And Mason Mack is not very thick, but he's long, and he was able to establish his presence there in the paint as they hold a 2-0 lead as Reading gets the ball back. And like I said, great ball movement, and they want to push the tempo. Worley working the perimeter, not really looking inside, great skip pass.
Yep, pass fakes, dribble penetration, and, that's what's going to beat this. And nice pass inside. And
no good from number 1, A.J. Brown, but Reading does get the ball back.
Nice.
And Brandon Ross with the floater. We're tied here at 2. Here comes Summit Country Day, led by number 0, Matthew Atkins.
Cincinnati Country Day. There's so many country days.
Right, yeah.
Mixed up. When I was coaching at CHCA, there was Cincinnati Christian. I mean, there's so many.
Here's the replay of that last basket. Brandon Ross just with a nice floater, nice kiss to get the Blue Devils on the board. Number 12, TJ Manning, the senior 5'8" guard, leading the offense for the Blue Devils. Really working that perimeter. Haven't really seen a lot inside. A lot of long passes for the Blue Devils, as we see another one right there. But they do a great job of penetrating the paint, but then getting the ball right back out. And there's another sloppy turnover as number 3, Kylan Young, goes coast to coast. No shot, as the official says.
Something I'm noticing right now on Reading is you can see they haven't played in a while, and you can tell by this how their offense is sloppy passing. So we'll see how they, after the first quarter, get their blood pumping. Just get them going.
Here's a replay of the foul. The foul is on number 2, Brandon Ross, and number 5, Elijah Vaught checked in, and Mason Mack with another lay-in for the Indians.
You said it perfectly. That long body is making it easy inside, and Reading's going to have to address that because he's making it look easy inside.
We don't see a lot of height coming to start the game on rosters. We got 6'4", 6'3", but no height that really stands out as a traveling violation is called. And like you said, Frankie, a lot of crucial and just silly turnovers here early to start the game.
Right. I've counted, I think, 4 or 5, and that's not what you want to start out with. So.
Number 23, Jackson Campbell, no good on the three-point shot. A.J. Brown with a rebound, but another
turnover. And now they're getting out hustled. I'm going to see a timeout for sure because when there's a loose ball, you got to have guys diving on it.
Kylan Young leading the offense for the Cincinnati Country Day Indians. Passes it to Mason Mack. Mason Mack up, no good. A.J. Brown with another rebound. Long pass.
Gosh, that's frustrating to watch.
Matthew Atkins with the steal, but just a long, bad pass by number 1, A.J. Brown. As Mack throws up a floater and is good.
There's that timeout that I was wanting, and you got to call timeout. They're not playing. They're playing flat, as I said, that they shouldn't. And so good job by CCD, though, taking advantage of it.
There's a replay of number 0, Matthew Atkins' floater. And as I mentioned in the pregame, he had 28 points last game, Frankie.
Wow.
So the Reading Blue Devils are going to have to find a way to shut him down. He had a double-double last game, actually. So
for high school ball, let alone Division III, that's,
right.
It's
so if you're Coach Stidham, it is only 6-2, but what are you saying to your guys in this huddle right
I'm
now?
fired up. I'm telling my guys, hey, this is one and done. These seniors, you got to leave it all on the floor, and all you got to do is play hard. I mean, if you get beat playing hard, you have nothing. You shouldn't hang your head, but they've just had sloppy passes. They just need to play smart and play hard.
As Reading takes over, number 5, Elijah Vaught at the point for the Blue Devils. There's our first pass inside, right back outside. Nash Morgan with a missed three-point shot. And here comes number 0, Matthew Atkins. Kicks to number 3, Kylan Young. Young looking for an open man.
Looks like Reading's in a 2-3 zone.
Dylan Hacker, no good on the three-point shot. But there goes number 1, A.J. Brown, goes coast to coast.
Tough shot. That's just not going to – it's a tough angle. He tried to do too much there.
Mason Mack with the rebound. Just quick shots. Nobody's really establishing a presence. Foul is on number 3, Gabe Van Shake of Reading, or of Cincinnati Country Day. That would be Kylan Young, pardon me. As Cincinnati Country Day does lead 6-2. There's a great shot of head coach Bill Stidham of the Reading Blue Devils. Comes Elijah Vaught for the Blue Devils.
Vaught was the player that wasn't in the first game. He was injured from a football injury.
There was number 1, A.J. Brown, weaving his way through the defense to get an easy bucket for 2. 6-4 is our score now.
That's what's going to beat that zone, or that high pressure zone, is the dribble penetration. Tough
Jackson
angle.
Campbell, 3, no good. Elijah Vaught with the rebound. Brandon Ross trying to create something, back to Vaught.
Nice cut inside.
Into Van Shake. Kick outside for 3, no good. Here comes Adkins.
Someone's got to stop ball.
Goes coast to coast. Throws up a miracle of a shot, no good. Vaught tries to start the tempo, but Cincinnati Country Day does get back on defense, kicks it inside to Van Shake. Into Morgan. Morgan with the lay-in for 2.
All their points have been when they've taken it to the hole, so maybe they just keep doing that. I guess I got a personal delivery here, Domino's Pizza.
Mid-game action.
How you doing? Appreciate it. Didn't know it was my lucky day.
Out of bounds for Cincinnati Country Day. Turnover, Reading ball. As Frankie and I have mentioned earlier, just a lot of sloppy turnovers. These teams haven't played in a couple of days, haven't seen a lot of game action. As we're going to see the first substitution at the next dead ball for
That was one of my
the
first,
Indians.
and that was pretty funny when the Domino's guy comes to me personally, full of food. Sorry, that was a funny one.
A.J. Brown kicks to Vaught.
Yeah, he came to me personally.
Brandon Ross for 3. Timeout, Indians. Reading takes a 9-6 lead after going on a big 7-0 run with 2:20
what
remaining here.
Dr. Domino's ordered, I guess. That's what they have to do, is drive it to the hoop.
Absolutely.
I was having a little side chat with the director inside just because I was kind of shocked about the pizza guy coming straight to me like it was for me.
And
I appreciate that.
You would think he would realize not to drop it off while we're wearing a headset and in the middle of a broadcast, but you never know.
You missed it. So I'm talking to my director again. Look at me. But right now, so we have a 9-6 ball game. Reading's up out in front after that timeout, which was a good timeout for them. It's CCD's ball. The winner will be taking on the winner of North College Hill and Georgetown, which would be a great matchup following this game.
Absolutely, Frankie. As Cincinnati Country Day with a turnover, Reading will take over, and it just seems like all momentum has come back to Reading's side. They started off kind of slow, as we're going to see the replay. Just a errant skip pass. Number 3, Kylan Young, he's only listed at 5'8". I don't think he's going to get up and get that pass. So Reading takes over at half court. Elijah Vaught, the senior 5'9" guard, leads the offense for the Blue Devils. As again, they work that perimeter, not really working it inside until they really need to. Number 33, Cole Baker, inside the paint. Foul called. Foul's called on number 2, Winton Jackson, his first. Here's a replay. A.J. Brown to the hole, and Winton Jackson must have just gotten a little bit of hand to send A.J. Brown to the free throw line as he hits the first.
He's definitely an athletic body. He can get up, and you can see how athletic he is.
6'2" guard, very strong, but he has worked inside a little bit. But it's nice to have Cole Baker in there, the 6'4" forward, who is able to establish a presence in the paint as the Indians bring it back down court. Kylan Young working for someone. Winton Jackson for 3, no good. Rebound by Brandon Ross of the Blue Devils. And here comes that fast-paced tempo again, Frankie. A.J. Brown to the hole, kicks it outside. No shot from Elijah Vaught. Elijah Vaught settles. Really sees what's open. A.J. Brown goes baseline. Reverse.
Ooh,
out of bounds. Summit Country Day ball. Cincinnati Country Day ball, pardon me. Off the turnover.
All the way out. It's so funny about this, the tournament bracket. You got Princeton, that's where the other half is, and then you got it all the way over in Brown County, the other side,
Yeah, well, like as I mentioned earlier, Frankie, that's an hour and a half bus ride, especially during rush hour traffic. I mean, these guys don't have fresh legs for sitting that long. As Kylan Young for 3, our first 3-point basket of the night. Here comes Elijah Vaught for the Blue Devils. Gets a nice screen. A.J. Brown saves a bad pass.
Nice pass inside.
Into Cole Baker. Off Country Day. Reading ball.
I think the closest out of all our four is definitely Georgetown, because they're in Brown County. So.
Absolutely. They're right up the corner, and they're in the conference, the Ohio Buckeye Academic and Athletic Conference. So, you know, they've played at this arena. They know how the rims work, so that next game following us is going to look good, as there is another foul called.
And they went undefeated in their league, 12-0. I mean, they're having a great year. So the next matchup with North College Hill, I'm interested to see this type of styles of the two.
Fouls on number 24, TJ Moorman, his first, team fourth, as A.J. Brown will go back to the free throw line for his third and fourth shots at the charity stripe. Brown hits the first. Brown gets some love from his teammate and gets the ball for the second shot. With just under a minute remaining here in the first quarter, Brown misses a second, but great rebound by number 33, Cole Baker, as now Reading could play some stall ball and try and get the last shot, but we'll see if the Cincinnati Country Day defense is able to prevent that. Brown looks inside, back outside to Baker, to Vaught. Vaught slows down the tempo again, under 40 seconds here in the first quarter.
Fell into that a little tighter 2-3 zone, going to dare them to shoot the three. There's a tough pass. I don't know who he
A.J. Brown tried to throw an alley-oop or a pass off the backboard, but there goes Matthew Atkins
wow.
to the rim, but the dunk was no good. And
nice
here
effort,
comes,
though. I was surprised he got up that high.
He's listed at 5'11", so that big man is getting up. A.J. Brown dumps to number 24, Donick Patterson for two, as we've got 10 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Reading leads 13-9. Country Day looking for something to develop with 4.
Don't think he realizes how much time this guy's going to force it.
No good. The end of the first quarter, our score, Reading 13, Cincinnati Country Day 9. Frankie, if you're Country Day, you started out hot, but then just went dormant after Reading called that timeout. What are you talking about in this huddle right now as you got a minute to talk?
They really, I mean, what they need to do is go back to their defense has been, that zone defense has caused Reading some trouble. So I would keep emphasizing that defense and try to get better shots. And also with their guy that's big inside, they need to get more in because he was doing a great job in the first few buckets they scored. And
then over to the counterpart, over to Reading. What is Reading talking about? They started off slow, came out hot. What's Coach Stidham talking about in that huddle?
You need to be patient, but also be aggressive on transition when they get a defensive rebound. But when they do get it down there, they need to just be patient and make strong cuts and good passes. There's just been a lot of sloppiness, and that's, I mean, right now being up by 4, it could be a different ball game. So they should feel good right now for having that first quarter. So we'll see what happens in the second quarter.
Absolutely, Frankie. Blue Devils came into the game 16-6, so they were a very powerful team, as you mentioned, in the CHL, as they're going to start with the ball to start the second quarter, as Elijah Vaught at the point guard position again. And as we've mentioned a couple of times now, great ball movement as Vaught. I mean, he just tried to go for the tip-in and should have caught it. I mean, he was already up there. But great steal from number 3, Gabe Van Shake.
Yeah, he didn't realize how open he was on the putback. It was like that old rule of 21, he was trying to do the old tip-in when he just came down right back up.
Reading threw the ball out of bounds, but it was tipped by Country Day, so they will retain possession. Because again, they're working around the perimeter, working inside, and then kick it back outside. Vaught, wide open lane, and is fouled.
That's really the thing that's going to be open, is if they get good ball reversal and then great dribble penetration. That's been open tonight.
There's Vaught with a great move, and foul was on number 14, Ethan Jeffries. His first team 5th, as Vaught is at the line for the first time tonight. Vaught hits the first. Into the game for the Blue Devils, number 12, TJ Manning. And then for the Indians, number 44, Mason Mack, the 6'3" sophomore.
I know Reading's definitely excited getting their new high school getting built, and they've played all their home games the last 2 years at Sports Plus, which has been really hard for them, especially the visiting teams with all the whistles. So they'll be excited next year when they get their brand new school to play in.
Delay a game warning on Gabe Van Schaik from the Blue Devils for touching the ball after the free throw. But yeah, Frankie, as you mentioned, playing at Sports Plus is going to be kind of tough. Just how many games are going on and what all needs, like all the action going on, and not a lot of fans being able to be there.
Right.
Just with the lack of seating, just because of so many courts. So it's exciting time in the Reading community to get their new high school and get the fans back on their home turf instead of driving all the way up to Evendale.
Right, because you got to think that means, I mean, they really haven't had any, kind of homecoming or, I want to say making fundraisers, just for opening the doors open. So
a lot of schools do sports stags and use their gyms as that venue. So as you said, a lack of fundraiser as Nash Morgan attempts another three and is off.
Yeah, I think that might be his last one for a while, but the shooter does try to shoot himself out of a cold streak. Because I can tell that's how I was. I was really hot or I was really cold sometimes.
Reading playing some just very tight defenses. Number
nice
23,
take.
Jackson Campbell with the up and under for two. Score now, Reading 15, Cincinnati Country Day 11. Reading really doing a good job of working the ball, not really forcing any bad shots. Nash is trying to find his groove with some threes, but I think he really needs to be wide open if he needs to hit one.
Well, CCD came out of their zone, I believe. It still might be a matchup, but I don't think Reading has recognized it yet, but they are in a man. So now they can get into their motion here. Let's see if one of at least the point guard or someone's got to take roll here. Now they've got into their motion here.
Elijah Vaught off from three, no good, and here comes Matthew Adkins of the Indians. Pulls up from about 18 feet, no good. Lots of scrambling right now, just sloppy basketball.
Good hustle by CCD, got out-hustled again.
Atkins established possession on the other side of the timeline, so no over and back violation. Atkins going behind the back and kicks. Ooh. No charge. Number 21, Cole Sam off from three. Reading rebound, number 12, TJ Manning.
One thing Reading hasn't done too well tonight they haven't shot the three ball so far. And Ross hasn't took any of them. He is their best three-point shooter.
As TJ Manning missed the layup, but traveling called on number 21, Colin Sam, after coming down with the ball. Checking into the game for the Blue Devils, number 1, A.J. Brown, and number 2, Brandon Ross. Back in for the Indians, number 3, Kylan Young. Reading ball under their own hoop, 5:10 remaining here in the first half. And there is the head coach of the Cincinnati Country Day Indians, Greg Ross, and he looks very displeased with the official right in front of him. As Van Schaik,
gosh, physical there. That was almost like a fumble and recovery there, wasn't it?
That was looked like a scrum. But foul will be on number 44, Mason Mack.
Wow, they called a foul. I thought it was a jump, but might be displeased more for the CCD coach there because that was a good hustle by both players.
It'll be Mack's first foul and the team's second.
There's another turn. Luckily, got bailed out there. There was no one there home, and luckily Brandon was able to save it.
A.J. Brown off from three, and here comes that fast-paced tempo that we've seen a lot of tonight. I think these guys are just trying to get their legs hot and fresh, and I think we're going to have a really interesting second half, Frankie.
Right. I mean, just like little things. Ball's dead. I'm not hearing any talking. They get to be more aggressive on the defensive side.
Wow, as Elijah Vaught just plays absolute denial defense. Last touch by Country Day. Reading ball.
Almost like they were listening to me from over here. I mean, that's what they got to have is that type of intensity.
And back in for the Indians, number 10, Dylan Hacker. And Vaught was giving that man no room to breathe. Was all up in his grill and was like, I'm here to play because I'm not ready to be done.
Right, as a senior, that's what you want, and it's contagious. You see that type of, when you come after it, everyone wants a piece of that.
Absolutely, and when you had such a good year just right behind the number 1 Wyoming Cowboys, who just have winning state titles in their DNA, as A.J. Brown with the layup, you want to be able to compete, and you want to see Wyoming again because you know that you can beat them.
Well, with Wyoming's in Division II also, so they're not going to have to see them. And I think that Prater, he's going to get to pick either Division I football or Division I basketball because he's a special player.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you that.
As number 3, Kylan Young with the lay-in for 2. But I got to see Prater play against Roger Bacon, and he's an absolute leader. For being a junior, just
right.
he takes over the court and does a great job
like
of talking.
College moves, like his whole demeanor. And when I watched him play football, I thought the same thing.
Foul on number 2, Brandon Ross. His second, team third for the Blue Devils. And for the Blue Devils, number 10 is Logan Stidham.
I'll have to keep an eye on that. That's their leading scorer with 2 fouls, so that's a good news for CCD right now.
So this is where CCD is going to need to step up. It is only a 4-point game, but the atmosphere just feels like they're down by like 20.
Right.
There's just no life coming from CCD as sloppy passes from Atkins, and there goes the fast-paced tempo as Elijah Vaught kicks it out. Stidham passes, gets the ball back, and Elijah Vaught settles down the offense with 3:30 remaining here, and that's where you get a senior leader.
It's been all Vaught these last couple minutes, like you said.
Vaught looks into Brown. Brown gets hacked by number 44, Mason Mack. That's his second, team 7th. And here's the replay as A.J. Brown goes up, and Mack goes for the block from behind, but gets a whole lot of arm. As we'll see Brown at the charity stripe for another 2. A.J. Brown, the 6'2" senior guard, has done a great job tonight so far for the Blue Devils as he misses the first.
Got to make sure you put those in. You know, got to make them pay.
They're free. Got to make them.
Yep.
Into the game for the Indians, number 23, Jackson Campbell, the 6'1" freshman guard.
Reading does have 3 fouls, but Brandon Ross has 2 of those 3. So.
And Brown misses another free throw, but here comes that fast-paced tempo led by number 0, Matthew Atkins. Atkins looks.
Ooh, that was a good block, too. Wow. Good defense by Vaught in.
Atkins getting a 5 count, gets out of it, trying to make something out of it.
Nice
Atkins
move.
to the hole.
Wow. That was a great move. Someone's got to help side there, but that was definitely a nice move by him.
Matthew Atkins, the junior, doing a great job being one of the leaders of this Indians
With that
team.
left hand going up, I mean, that was a great take.
Van Skeek kicks it to Stidham. Stidham picks up his dribble, finds Elijah Vaught, the senior guard, who's able to really control and settle down the offense.
Reading's got to make sure they're still moving. See how they're a little flat right now. Got to make sure they get fluent motion.
Out to T.J. Manning, the 5'8" senior guard. And
Nice
Van Skeek with the lane. You know, I think for Reading, when they go into half, Coach Stidham really needs to emphasize to keep staying in their tempo. But as like Matthew Atkins, you got to find a way to stop him. I mean, he's been hot all night. You got to find a way to stop him. But on Greg Ross's side at
CCD
halftime,
should feel good. I mean, they should be. I mean, right now they're.
It's only 2 points as Elijah Vaught takes it in for 2. That's a 21-17 game. So up to a 4-point lead. Coach Ross really needs to establish no sloppy passes, get your momentum back. And as we're going to go to replay right now after that last tip ball, there's Van Skeek with the beautiful left hand all in through just traffic, and Elijah Vaught faking one way and coming back the other and finishing with bodies around him as here comes number 5, Elijah Vaught. Reading leads 21-17 with a minute 45 remaining here in the first half.
Vaught's definitely done a great job being a leader, and he's been the player that was out for a big part of their season. And so when your point guard is out, he's the coach on the floor. So when you can see with the intensity he's doing.
Great backdoor cut by A.J. Brown and T.J. Manning to find him.
That was a nice look.
Great awareness on the court by both players as Stidham goes to block the shot, but nothing but nylon for Jackson Campbell. As we got it down to a 3-point game, a minute 10 remaining here in the first half. And there goes Elijah Vaught again, trying to make something out of nothing. Not a lot of movement coming from the Reading side right now as Van Skeek goes up and under, nothing working, back out to Vaught. Vaught finds Van Skeek baseline, lay in and good.
Too easy. I mean, I don't know why he left his man, but one thing is keeping CCD in this game is their free balls, and Reading's not been able to hit any threes.
There goes Kylan Young, 3 no good.
Wow.
Number 10, Dylan Hacker with the lay-in. Coach Stidham looking for a push in the back, no call.
Well, I'm going to tell my player next time, you better just take it, because I want you to box him out, because
it's tournament time. You're not gonna force the officials to give you a call. So you gotta man up and just play tough ball. This is tournament time. Everyone's going after the same thing. Everyone wants to be in Columbus those first couple weekends in March. As Reading looks for that last shot, they're going to give it to Elijah Vaught with 5 left, trying to make something. Kicks it out to Stidham. Stidham for 3, and finds it. Buzzer beater from the freshman, Logan Stidham.
First 3 of the night, and that's the coach's son at that, too. That's pretty funny there. That was a good shot, first 3 of the night for Reading.
So as we go into halftime, Reading leads 28-22. Coach Stidham's got to be feeling good about his team going into half, but what does Coach Ross need to talk about with his Indians?
To be honest with you, I think the Indians should feel good right now. They're only down by a couple buckets. They really haven't played that well on the offensive side, hit some big threes. And then on the other side, Reading should feel a little bit good, like you said, because they're winning and they didn't slide. It's typical kind of 6 o'clock reserve type game we're getting right now. Let's see what that second half brings to us.
We'll be right back after halftime for the second half of this very tough matchup. good. I'm good. I got a water. Now we're a little bit more organized. Service or wide. Yes, sir. Give me a minute. Oh, they made that. Oh, man. Okay. Okay. They have?
Yeah, they do. Oh, man. Think I got time?
I can just start it by myself, yeah. Seconds, I can run it solo. I promise to be a little bit more organized. Breaking the time to talk here, buddy. There's our last bucket from the first quarter as Jarrett Stidham, a freshman, son of Bill Stidham, hits the three. Welcome back to Western Brown High School. I'm David Olson. Frankie Edwards was trying to track down some stats, but we've got an interesting game. Reading leads only by 6. It's been a back and forth kind of game. Reading started off kind of slow, brought the tempo. Cincinnati Country Day started off hot and then went slow. Frankie, what do you think they talked about there in their halftime huddles?
What to do in this second half is Reading's got to make sure they take care of the ball, and they haven't shot the ball well from the three-point line. That buzzer at that three at the buzzer was their first three-point. On the other side of the ball, CCD needs to go inside again. I mean, they've had a couple guys that have some nice moves when they dribble penetration, but also Vought's intensity really lifted the Blue Devils to at least have this lead that they have right now. So they need to keep that intensity up.
Yes, Frankie, I agree. As Cincinnati Country Day will start with the ball to start the second half. There's a great shot. So Bill Stidham is thinking, I think he's thinking that he's got to just keep up the momentum. You know, you got to keep feeding the ball to A.J. Brown and Elijah Vaught, but you just got to stop Matthew Atkins. Matthew Atkins has been the lifeline, and he's been able to provide a lot of just energy for this Country Day team.
Ross he averages, I believe, around 19 points a game, and he had the first bucket of the game for Reading, and he hasn't been, present because he had those 2 fouls.
Speaking of Ross, went baseline, no good, but here comes that fast tempo of the Indians offense. Number 3, Kylan Young's going to slow down the tempo. Works to number 23, Jackson Campbell. Jackson Campbell back to Kylan Young for 3. Nothing but nylon.
It's something they're going to have to, that's the thing that's been keeping them in this game has been their 3 balls. You take those away, it's a different ball game, but CCD's been hitting some threes tonight.
Brandon Ross leading the way for Blue Devils is number 32, Nash Morgan for three, and hits one, his first one of the night.
But it feels good. Even if it rattled in, he's going to be like, I'll take that.
Now someone's going to have to watch out for that and make sure he doesn't get hot and that he's able to continue to shoot those threes. As Kylan Young leads the offense for the Indians. Back over to Campbell. Campbell back to Young. Young trying to find an opening somewhere. Floater from Young, in and out. Here comes number 2, Brandon Ross, the 5'9" senior guard for the Blue Devils. Brandon Ross pulls up for three, and cash. Redding coming out, hot.
There's a turnover by a quick turnover too. That CCD's gonna have to be careful here.
Ross with the ball. Matthew Atkins guarding him, gets through the screen. Ross trying to find something, gets it off to A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown to T.J. Manning. Manning to Van Skake. Here comes Nash Morgan.
Ooh, he got that.
Oh, he might cram this thing. No good. The pressure from Van Skake.
Wow, good hustle back, but that block, the shot got blocked. I mean, good hustle back though.
There's Mason Mack with the block, and he tried to take it to go coast to coast, but Van Skake scared him just enough to where he missed that layup.
Good hustle back, didn't hang his head after the block. That's what you got to do.
Redding leads by 9. Brandon Ross throws up. A nothing layup, no good. Matthew Atkins with the ball for the Indians.
I'll be surprised to see how long Vought's not in this game because he, like I said, when he came in that game, that second, or maybe even the first quarter, but the second quarter is really when I seen his, intensity because he really put in, put it all going, and it really got him going. Redding.
Absolutely. Mason Mack fouled on the play by number 32, Nash Morgan. Redding's first team foul of the half, and there is Mason Mack. 6'3" forward, misses the first one.
Largest lead of the night for Redding so far.
There again is Bill Stidham, and back to Mack. Mack looks a little flustered. Hopefully he can get a bucket to fall, get this to an 8-point lead. Hits it. 34-26, 5:48 remaining here in the third quarter.
CCD is now showing taking up full court man here. Let's see what.
T.J. Manning goes about halfway down the lane and decides better of it.
No movement. They got to make sure they're moving so they can't get stagnant.
Ross gets through the screen, goes baseline. Floater, ain't good.
Tough shot. Tough angle, That was, he was going right over a guy who was about to block his shot. Nice touch by him.
Looking into Mason Mack. Mason Mack's pass blocked. Here goes T.J. Manning, coast to coast. Euro. May have been a travel, but finds the bucket. As number 23, Jackson Campbell gets it back
see a
to
timeout here.
Timeout. Country Day. Be a full timeout. There is Brandon Ross going baseline. Floater right over Mason Mack's hand. And T.J. Manning going 1, 2, and through the contact and gets the lay-in. CCD opens up a 12-point lead, or Redding opens up a 12-point lead, excuse me. If you're Greg Ross, what are you saying to these guys? Redding came out hot, decided to shoot the three, and they're hitting them.
Right, yeah, one thing you're going to have to keep an eye on is Ross because you can see how he can start changing the game very quickly, so their best defender is going to have to put a hand in his face and guard him. And also just, calm down. It's still got, the second half to go. It's not like it's that out of hand, but it's definitely a time where they can't let it get too big of a lead now.
And then what is Coach Stidham saying in his huddle? He's up 12 early here in the third quarter. What's he saying to his guys to keep this momentum and the pace of play that they're playing up and they keep playing at that level?
Just keep playing hard, and bring that intensity. It might sound like a broken record, but, if they play hard and take care of business, they'll move on to play the next game. Because in the first half, I tried to get the stats, but they didn't shoot the ball very well from long distance, and they were still winning by a few, but now that they've hit a couple, you see how different the game can change.
Absolutely right, Frankie. It's 5:08 remaining here in the third quarter. Jackson Campbell will throw it into Kylan Young. Young throws up a shot, but is fouled on the play. Foul on the play by number 32, Nash Morgan. Nash Morgan's second. Kylan Young could have got the and one, but Morgan stopped it. The second team foul for Redding here in the half. There is Kylan Young at the free throw line.
Got a little lefty, a little southpaw, I believe.
Absolutely. It's a first. Number 2, Winton Jackson. Back into the game for number 21, Colin Sam. Kylan goes through his routine. Second free throw is up, off the back of the rim. TJ Manning with the rebound. Pace of play is really slowed here. TJ Manning taking his time getting across the timeline. Lots of clutter over there by Manning. Manning goes to the hole, just short. Kylan Young with the rebound. Lots of contact. Matthew Atkins after the long pass gets it to roll in.
So athletic.
And they still got another year of them. So don't count out this CCD team. As A.J. Brown gets the ball, throws up a shot, and gets the kiss off the backboard for 2.
Off his foot there, wow.
Kylan Young getting a little sloppy with the ball and dribbles off his foot.
See how Vaught brings in the game, see what happens now, because I've been waiting for, that's something I love to see is someone playing hard with intensity. I can see a guy hit 1,000 shots, but when I see someone playing hard and getting someone's face and getting turnovers, it's something I attract to for sure.
Vaught's definitely been a leader of this team, and he's going to be a crucial part.
I jinxed him there.
Yeah, there's the always you can count on the
just like the free throw guy has not missed a free throw.
But Vaught's got to bring a good intensity because this is his last ride here in the Ohio High School Athletic Association Boys Basketball Tournament. And, like you said, Frankie, it's one and done. There's no consolation bracket, so
you're right.
Every second could be your last, so play your heart out.
Nice pass.
As Vaught for 3, but drives in, throws up a shot. Wow. How did he make that?
I don't even know how that was. That was such an acrobatic.
He was falling away and under the basket and somehow found a way to curve that back in for 2. As Reading
I don't even know how he was able to get it up because he was falling down literally. That was funny.
There's Kylan Young in the corner, guarded by A.J. Brown. Young with a very lobby pass over to 23, Jackson Campbell. Back to Kylan Young. Vaught playing that relentless man-to-man defense. Great help by number 24.
You just see how the intensity just giving CCD problems. Just the one.
Down inside to number 14, Ethan Jeffries. Back to Kylan Young. Kylan Young throws up a shot, no good. A.J. Brown with the rebound for the Blue Devils and gets it back to Vaught. 3 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Vaught trying to slow down the pace, trying to open up their lead a little bit more as he hands off to number 2, Brandon Ross.
As I was stating, it's almost 2 different games from the first half to the second half. Now that their blood's pumping, now we're having a varsity game in the second half.
Great cut by the Blue Devils. Brandon Ross over to A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown's got the paint. Foul on number 23, Jackson Campbell. Campbell just...
You see, just used his body to block him. Was a good call there.
Absolutely. It'd be his first, team first. Kylan Young checking out of the game for the Indians. Elijah Vaught gets the ball just outside the three-point line, goes baseline, kicks. Scrambling on a loose ball. Vaught somehow gets the ball back over to Van Skate. Van Skate jump stops.
Yeah,
and travel.
Just when the defender got in his way, it made him pick up his jump step there. So that was a good call.
Absolutely, Frankie. Just give him his passport and stamp it because he's traveling. Great ball movement by the Indians.
That's something that they've been able to get inside there, and I don't know why they didn't go up with it. When you're that far in, you just want to.
Winton Jackson no good on the 3, but Matthew Atkins gets the rebound, misses his first shot, and is relentless and gets that second one to fall in. And Matthew Atkins has been the lifeline, and he really needs to step up as Reading has an 11-point lead here in the third quarter. Van Skate goes baseline.
Nice pass.
Into number 24, Donnie Patterson for 2. 44-31 Reading. Comes Matthew Atkins again for the Indians. Atkins trying to find something to get working. Nothing's just working right now for this Indians team as he gets the ball to Jackson Campbell. Campbell guarded by number 5, Elijah Vaught. Campbell pull up, baseline, no good. A.J. Brown with the rebound. Kicks to Van Skate. Van Skate, spin move, nope. Kicks it back out to Vaught. Thinks about the 3, decides better of it, pulls the ball
See
back
the
out.
coach on the floor, just calming down everybody, and it's just a nice fluid quarter.
Oh, Van Skake with the great pick and roll. No
Ooh.
good on the finger roll. Rebound by Winton Jackson.
They got numbers.
Matthew Atkins opening up his speed. Gets swatted by number 1, A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown going to go coast to coast now. Kicks to Vaught in the corner. Oh, shot fake. Decides better of it. Kicks in to Patterson and foul. Wow, lots of action going on that play. The foul will be on number 10, Dylan Hacker.
I'm really impressed with Vaught's just leadership and how he's taking control of the game in ways of slowing down when they need to slow down, and just it's nice to see as a captain senior, to see a player do that.
Absolutely, not forcing that three as number 10, Logan Stidham, and number 32, Nash Morgan check in for the Blue Devils. We'll see if Morgan can keep shooting hot, or if Stidham, who did hit that three at the end of the first half, see if he'll do anything.
Good timeout there. He was in a tough spot for sure.
A 30-second timeout for the Blue Devils. Blue Devils have a 13-point lead. Okay, if we're Greg Ross, how do we? Obviously, we can't get 13 points in one possession.
They got to pull out that emergency. They got 1 quarter to come back. Whatever, you got to bring out all the dogs. Because
Absolutely.
it's not like they can't come back, but they got to make sure that they bring out some stops here.
Absolutely. As you said it perfectly, Frank. You got to get stops, but then you've got to produce on the other end.
Right.
Matthew Atkins can't do everything for this Indians team. Matthew Atkins has to be able to create plays, but if Reading collapses on him, the next person's got to be up and ready, either whether it's take it to the rim or pull an open three if you're a three-point shooter. So 51 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. We'll see if Cincinnati Country Day is able to start to dig at their deficit, as Reading will have the ball on their own baseline as number 10.
You'll look to see a press be implemented here in this fourth quarter also.
Logan Stidham, the freshman, looking for an open man.
Kind of a sloppy out of bounds play. I don't think that's how it was drew up there, but they got it in somehow.
Elijah Vaught with the left hand might be drawing a foul. Kicks to T.J. Manning. T.J. Manning kicks it back to Vaught. Vaught to Van Skake. Morgan posting up. Back to Stidham. And that'll be a foul on number 0, Matthew Atkins. His second personal.
I believe his name's pronounced Sight. I'm not 100%
Sorry,
sure, but he's playing great tonight.
To him, absolutely.
You don't usually get to see a silent K sometimes,
No, absolutely not. So, T.J. Manning, Skyke.
That's why I was thinking I couldn't remember exactly which one it is, but he's been playing hard. This whole second half, Reading's definitely been a different team.
Absolutely, they made a lot of great adjustments at halftime and have been able to draw out this lead and get it down to the last shot. And they're going to give it to number 5, Elijah Vaught, the captain, with 10 seconds left, trying to get out of that 5-second count. Dylan Hacker trying to provide defense. Vaught to the hole, absolutely hacked, no call, out of bounds. Reading ball with 2.8 seconds left.
Guess there was no contact there.
Here is a replay of the block for
yeah,
Indians.
I guess it was. It was a good block, huh?
Yeah, number 10, Dylan Hacker with the block. And Reading ball, and the referee's about to drop it. Lots of confusion on the Blue Devil side. Look for a three-point shot either from Stidham or Skyke, or the alley-oop.
Wow.
To Patterson.
Easy.
And that's the end of 3. Your score, Reading 46, Cincinnati Country Day 31. And as you said, Frankie, just a completely different game that we've seen here in the second half.
And if you see what the time was when they, when normal varsity times start to play, that's what's so key about that 6 o'clock game of coming out. That's that acrobatic, unbelievable.
There's Matthew Atkins to the hole through contact with block by A.J. Brown. And here's Atkins just not giving up on the play and trying to provide some life to this team as Georgetown leaves the gym to go get their last minute preparations before they take on the North College Hill Trojans. Frankie, what are you looking forward to in that game?
I'm interested to see the big guy there, that Noah Pack. You can see he's a big player. I mean, and they were 12-0 in the SBC and 16-6 overall, so they've had a great year. Famous player came out of there was Brian Grant.
Yeah.
And
as you see on our on the screen right now, our ICRC-TV replay schedule with Spectrum and Phi Optics. But always, you're able to find an archive of ICRC high school hoops in any sport or community event you would like at ICRC-TV.com.
And if you're interested in volunteering, please come visit ICRC, and Jason at ICRC.com, I believe that's his email. TV.com, apologize.
Jason at ICRC-TV.com if you're interested in learning the ins and outs of doing TV.
And being close to the game and being part of a team. I mean, I've loved it ever since I've started doing it, and I've loved just
I
something
agree,
special.
Frankie. Just to let you be around some teams that you might not you don't get to see on a regular basis. As Brandon Ross for three, in and out, but a rebound from Elijah Vaught and jump ball.
Wow.
Summit ball after Reading started off with possession.
Summit's gonna be like, I'm glad we're still in this game, in the tournament.
Yeah. You know, I think
there's so many country days, and like I said, there's lots of them, so it happens a lot in the league.
Absolutely. I mean, I think the Summit mascot's a knight, so and their blue might be a little different.
Right,
so,
right.
You know, we get those confusions, but both great schools. As Cincinnati Country Days, Matthew Atkins tries to provide some life for the Indians. As Kylan Young gets the ball over to Winton Jackson, throws up a shot, no good.
Tough shots.
Skyke with the rebound, kicks it to Elijah Vaught. Vaught to Manning. Manning back to Vaught. Back to Skyke. Skyke into Ross. Out. Wow, great ball movement. Just a sloppy pass there to end as Matthew Atkins dips it off.
Pass.
And in.
Oh, wow.
In and out.
Missed that.
And jump ball. Reading will get the ball back in. Matthew
Well, you were just stating there, they got to
to
stop, but they have to produce on the other end, or it's just going to be a.
Here's a replay. Just the jump ball is number 21, Colin Sam, was just unable to get the roll. And here comes that full court press Frankie talked about, as Colin Sam is the lone back man.
Looks like a 2-2-1 here we have. Let's see what, someone's got to be in the middle.
Back to Ross.
Nice pass.
Ross has wide open paint to Skyke. Baseline open, finger roll is good. Reading has done a really great job of getting Cincinnati Country Day to collapse and then leaving an open man, so they've got a great look at the basket.
Right, if they didn't attack the basket tonight, I think it'd be a different ballgame.
Absolutely, and going baseline, shot fakes, everything. Reading has done everything right as Kylan Young gets the floater to go. 48-33, 6:30 remaining here in the game. And as Frankie mentioned, that full court press.
Someone just got to get in the middle and just be patient. That's really what this.
This Reading team is very athletic.
I was saying you don't want to dribble through it, and as I say that.
Kylan Young throws up a shot, and the pressure throws it off. And here comes Elijah Vaught. Wide open paint, but nobody's going to guard him. He's going to kick it to Skyke, and Skyke could have gone baseline again. So
he could have traded an open shot for some time, which when you're up, that's a smart play there.
Kicks it to Manning. Manning again buying some time. Again, no shot clock in high school, so nothing to worry about for the Blue Devils as they just hold the ball. Ross throws up a floater.
Tough shot.
Skyke with the rebound. Out to Vaught. Vaught to Ross. Voss. Wow. Ross to Brown.
The
Brown,
tongue twister.
Absolutely. Brown trying to get something going. Foul will be on the play will be number 21, Colin Sam.
That's really been the only thing that when he dribbles and drives to the hoop, he's so strong that he brings their body and causes a foul. It's happened a couple times tonight.
Mason Mack in for the Indians, trying to get some height in there. Mason Mack being at 6'3", and TJ Moorman at 6'1". Skyke with the right hand, gets the kiss off the glass and good.
Outbodied him.
Reading opens up a 50-33 lead. Foul on Reading. Foul be on number one, A.J. Brown, his first, team third. Into the game for the Indians, number 2, Winton Jackson. Dylan Hacker checking out. 5:27 remaining here.
I know I'm getting kind of ahead of myself, but like I said, the winner of this game will take on the winner of North College Hill and Georgetown. But following, if you look ahead after that, Versailles and Brookville look like the two up the top bracket that are two top teams that's up in Dayton right now. As a coach, you always plan, you do game at a time, but you also, as a coach, you got to make sure you scout those teams.
Yeah.
I mean, it's you know, all the players, it's always that next game, boom, boom, boom. But as a coach, you have scouts going. That's why it's so important with ICRC being here. I was just talking to the North Carolina Chill coach. He was asking, is this game going to be broadcast next week so he doesn't have to film?
Right. So
I mean,
you know, that was Kylan Young with the 3 there. But you make a great point, Frankie, because the winner of this game, yeah, they've got a long bus ride home. But if I'm the winner of this game, I'm not going anywhere. I want to see these guys play live. I'm taking notes on my phone or whatever. You know, no distractions. You got to be able to watch this game. Winner advances to the district semifinals, and we'll face the winner of North Carolina Chill Georgetown, as Reading has a 50-36 lead. Reading's able to hold that in the holdout. Reading will be hanging around, and so saying just no distractions. You got to be able to pay attention. You got to click up, just watch some of their cues and see how you can prepare for that in practice this week, because you've got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then you're going to play Saturday afternoon back here at Western Brown.
There's another turnover. That's something. Oh wow, that was lucky there, because I thought it was.
And Ross to the bucket and lays it in. The senior leadership has been impeccable for the Blue Devils, and they've really stepped up here in the second half, really starting from the second quarter. But there will be a foul on the play.
Wow.
Foul on number 3, Gabe Van Skate, the 6'2" senior forward, back into the game.
Something to note, too, Indians. Reading did play North Carolina Chill a few weeks ago, and they did lose.
Okay.
So, you know, I don't know. So with the note taking, we were saying, I'm zeroing in to see what we did wrong.
You know, Frankie, their coach asked if he wouldn't have to film the game, but I feel like you'd want to have this game on huddle so you can pause and you can make your notes, because
you can do it with ICRC
right,
too if you go back. And it's something that I know that even back when I played, I was always going back to Waycross and ICRC to watch films, and even when I was coaching.
Absolutely.
Because it's just free tape to be able to scout.
Yeah, and you're not having to pay anyone or have this that extra responsibility of huddle and asking
traveling.
people to exchange. Yeah, I mean, I think I saw UC Claremont here scouting some older teams, but I really didn't see other teams scouting, because, you know, they'll meet.
I guarantee there's people from these up in the Dayton just to get their eyes on it, even if it's an assistant, just because, you know, you want to know what you're prepared for at that level. You know, obviously you can get films at that stage, but, you know, when you get the more eyes and more times you get to see a team, the more you can prepare.
Yeah, foul on Kylan Mack, his second, team 5th. And Frankie, you're right, but, you know, one of these teams, they might meet at UD Arena later on in the tournament, but we're going to get back to this game as TJ Manning's got the 3 open. He kicks it in.
I'm filling out my NCAA brackets, ain't I?
Right, yeah.
Here's my Elite 8.
Yeah, Van Skate with the lay-in for the Blue Devils as they open up 54-36 lead. 3:47 remaining, and Matthew Atkins to the hole, no good. A.J. Brown with the rebound. Out to Brandon Ross for 3. Cash. And there's a 21-point lead for the Blue Devils. Matthew Atkins still not giving up just yet, playing with his heart out. But he is a junior, so we'll see him again next year.
Right there was exactly what they went away from. Number 44 does a great job when he posts up, and that's the 3rd time I've seen all game, and all 3 times it worked.
Yeah, Mac did it early twice in the first half, and there's Van Skate with another layup. But, yeah, Mason Mack does a great job of establishing his presence, and you said CCD really got away from that going into the second quarter and the rest of the game, and that's the first time we've seen it in a while. And there is Mack with the ball, and we're going to get a jump ball out of that, and CCD will retain possession.
Good sportsmanship, hold him up after that too there.
Absolutely. Number 33, Cole Baker, and number 24, Donick Patterson in for the Blue Devils. Winton Jackson, back in for the Indians. 2:55 remaining here in the game. Our first of 2.
Each quarter, it seemed like it picked up. You know, definitely on the Reading side. CCD played hard in that first quarter. I mean, even at halftime, they were only down by a few points. So nothing to hold their heads down, because Reading's been a tough team this year.
Winton Jackson misses a 3, but Jackson Campbell lays it in for 2. 59-40, Reading lead.
Nice
Reading
pass. Nice
blocked.
block.
Mason Mack puts it off the backboard. Matthew Atkins just trying to do way too much there. That's the kind of hustle you want to see all game. Oh, into Van Skate, lays it in. No foul called. Nothing can fall.
A lot of physical. Now we're going to get a jump probably at the very end after all that.
And after all that, Reading's going to get the ball back.
Oh, God.
You can't hold in that possession. There's 2:20 left. You gotta get the ball out and get the ball to court. Where Reading
It's so ironic because it was so physical to him just hold the ball, and they had to call that jump because they were letting him play there all the way down the floor until that happened.
Ross, the left hand floater, nothing.
Foul.
Foul beyond number 33, Cole Baker. His first, team 5th. Here comes Matthew Atkins. So they roll the ball up the court, try to save a little bit of time.
Someone's got to guard somebody. Got
Kylan
lucky
Young
there,
for
wide open three.
Yeah, no good. Under 2 minutes here remaining in the game. TJ Manning leading this Reading offense down the court. Back to Patterson. Patterson to Skake. Skake gets absolutely
been a lot of blocks
by
tonight.
Mack. Yeah, Mason Mack has done a great job. And Mason Mack, man, Mason Mack has just not been able to finish through contact, but he does finish there.
They're letting him play GCL style these last few minutes for sure.
Hey, this is tournament basketball. If they're not letting him play, then there's something wrong. So there's Van Skake on the drive, and Mason Mack is like Mutombo and just tells him no.
Right.
And then Mack,
boom.
He doesn't even lower the shoulder. It wasn't that bad. That might have been a flop from Baker.
Did he fall? If he didn't fall down, that was pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. Mack tries to get something going as Reading has a 17-point lead. So, Frankie, if you're Greg Ross, you're down 17 with 1:39. What do you tell these guys, especially your seniors?
You know, hey, they played hard. You know, that's something that they should keep their heads up high, and then as the underclassmen, something to build on. You know, what you want to do for the future. I mean, for a 12 seed, they played very well. I mean, that's just me saying how it is, because they did play well for being a 12 seed, and they picked the right draw because the first game was 58-53.
Right.
So it was right there, but Reading's second half and intensity just overwhelmed them.
So if you're Coach Stidham, how do you keep your guys focused to finish this game strong instead of looking ahead to, you know, getting back in your travel suit, being able to get a couple like snacks in you, and then watching North College Hill and Georgetown?
Oh, I'm not even going to the snacks. I'm getting my section right now, you know, where they're zeroed in, especially if I lost to the team that I might be playing next. Because, you know, that's something that you'll see. I mean, we're going to definitely watch that game. And
fouls on number 23, Jackson Campbell. Team 6th, his third. 1:28 remaining here in the game.
That will be played Saturday at 1 o'clock here at Western Brown. The winner of North College Hill, Georgetown, and I believe Reading. Also a big three by Sim at that end of that halftime was a big shot.
Being
too.
A freshman too. The coach's son and a freshman, a lot of pressure, and he comes in and just nails a three. It's Brandon Ross is weaving as Stidham gets the ball, but a sloppy pass to Skike, but Skike gets it, jump stop, and turnover.
Gets sloppy here at the end. There's a foul.
Man, guys all over the place. And
not what to do
right,
at the very end. But
we're under a minute here in regulation.
Hard-fought game. So I mean, it was something I was looking forward to see. This a 6 o'clock game is always tough for any varsity coach to get your guys up and going, and
especially after a long bus ride like we mentioned. On Reading being down near 75, probably having to deal with rush hour traffic, and you know, getting here and just trying to get your legs fresh.
And playing a reserve time game and haven't played in a couple weeks.
Absolutely. As Stidham gets a skip as Reading looks to hold the ball out, as Cincinnati Country Day kind of just, you know, waving the white flag at this point, being down 17 with 30 seconds left. Unless you've got Tracy McGrady on your team, I don't think.
Or if you got a spot where it counts for 20, that's tough. But it was a hard-fought game. Both we got, like I said, this is an ICRC special with all the schools up here at Western Brown. We get to. I know I'm excited because I love doing this and get to see some more basketball.
Absolutely. Reading will advance as the 3 seed and move on to the district final, and they'll play the winner of North College Hill and Georgetown. Your final: Reading 59, Cincinnati Country Day 42. Frankie, any last thoughts on this game and how you think Reading can improve going on to face the winner of North College Hill and Georgetown?
Just to make sure when they do come out next week to try not to come out as flat and just be ready to play. And they really put it on hard, and Bob really brought the intensity when he got subbed in there and seen his senior leadership.
Absolutely. They're going to have a couple days to practice, get to watch this game, and I think they really got to limit the turnovers. Thank you to all of our camera operators, Jason Dudley, Dean Lowry, and the crew. And we'll be back right after this for North College Hill and Georgetown. Thank you guys for watching today's basketball game.